Hello and welcome to Middlesex Moments, the radio show from Middlesex Community College. I'm Steve Minkler, the academic dean at the college, and your host for these programs, which come to you from the radio studios of the Center for New Media at the Middlesex Community College main campus in Middletown. Joining me today for a conversation is Mr. Jaime Flores, who is an academic division director at the college. Hi, Jaime.
Hi.
And thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is an academic division director? What's your role at the college?
Sure. I think I look at it two parts, both as a manager and as a leader. So I'm going to talk about the manager side first. Basically, looking at our school, the School of Arts, Media, Humanities, and Social Sciences, as a distinct unit in the college, one that houses several disciplines, as the name implies. And under that, there are people. And the people are what makes a difference here. You have both the faculty members, staff members, and of course the students under these disciplines. So my role is really to make sure to manage the day-to-day operations as well as those issues that might come up as we progress during the semester. It is the start of the semester. It's quite hectic, but it's actually quite rewarding at the same time because I get to help faculty, staff, and students acclimate to a new semester. And it's always exciting given that also we have the change of seasons. So on this beautiful campus and Snow Hall, given that it does have that name, Snow, we do look forward to that winter, but for now, we're looking forward to the beginning of classes. So as a leader, the other side is that I get to work with my constituents, other directors, other faculty members from the other school, staff members, and administrators that make this campus vibrant and really a part of this community, a community that embraces a collective mindset of working together to find solutions. And our students are at the center of that. So I really enjoy my job. I enjoy, more importantly, because it's more than a job, it's a vocation.
Sure.
So,
yeah, and you're beginning your fourth year with us, I believe, right?
Yes.
And you came from other colleges in other states where I think your role, maybe in some other institutions, might be that of a dean level, right? So, as you said, you provide a leadership function, but also leadership in who you are and what you stand for as someone who really values the educational process for all of our students.
And actually, I'm glad that you mentioned that because the part of my job here is to focus on excellence and, more importantly, inclusive excellence, which means that I want to hear from other constituents here on the college, but also outside of the college. So I act as a liaison also to constituents that are in the community as well, and they certainly help in my practice as a director, but also as a member of a community. So I play a dual role in that regard, in that I can bring information and ideas to the internal community from the external environment.
Right. Yeah, so maybe just a quick list of a couple of the projects that you're working on now that are, kind of part of your job, but actually transcend your job in that they represent the college as a whole to the community. And so a couple of those would be?
Sure. One of them is the partnership that we have with Wesleyan University, the Center for Prison Education. We offer courses in the correctional facilities of Cheshire and York, and we're very proud of this partnership because this is a very unique way of collaborating for those who are incarcerated, provide education. It's part of our mission to provide quality education in different settings. So these are considered our extension sites, just like our site in Platt High School. And we work together with our Wesleyan partners to provide high quality education. At this point, we're offering a general studies degree program, and coupled with the excellent courses that both Wesleyan and Middlesex provide, we formed truly a unique partnership to help these incarcerated men and women reach their academic and eventually their career goals.
Great. And I think after the break, we're going to talk about another project that you've been really a major part of, which is our Courageous Conversation series. So we'll learn more about that with Jaime Flores. You're listening to Middlesex Moments. I'm Steve Minkler. See you after the break. Welcome back to Middlesex Moments from Middlesex Community College. I'm Steve Minkler, the Dean at the college, here with Jaime Flores, Academic Division Director for the School of Arts and Media, Humanities, and Social Sciences. And actually, Jaime, we're sitting in one of the areas that you supervise, which is our Center for New Media, the radio studios here. That's actually a pretty quickly growing program, as a matter of fact, right?
That's correct. Actually, we're very proud of the Center for New Media. It offers an array of degrees, and this semester we've had record enrollment. So we are very, very excited about this fall. And the new students, as well as the returning students, it's quite a nice mix. And we love the fact that they are using the facilities. We see the students working already on projects, and we know that they are making a difference here, not only in the center, but also throughout the college as they involve themselves in other classes and bring those projects to life. So we're very happy to have them here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it is a great opportunity for students who want to get into this career field to have hands-on instruction in state-of-the-art labs with professors who come from this field, too, which is fantastic.
That's correct.
But you mentioned it in a way of saying that it's sort of a college-wide impact, and one of the projects you've been working on for the last 2.5 or so years has been Courageous Conversations. And what are Courageous Conversations, and how did they come about?
Sure. Courageous Conversations is really a college-wide initiative where we had concerned staff and faculty members who wanted to have a venue to talk about issues that affect us each and every day, and issues that are sometimes trending in the news. And this is an avenue for those individuals to be able to come together and to talk about in a free, honest manner about these issues. Some of these issues are quite sensitive, so we do have a way for the discussions to be able to be respectful, civil, but also open, and in many ways they provide a safe environment for these conversations. It is quite fitting that they are in the library periodical room, surrounded by magazines. And the reason is because we have different voices and different perspectives that come together. And we can come together as community members to share what our thoughts are about these issues.
Okay. And what are some of the topics that have been talked about in the last year or more of the Courageous Conversations?
Sure. Some of the examples are Islamophobia. We've talked about the civil rights era in relation to our current events, and some of those hot-button issues like race, class, diversity, gender. All of these topics are free, and community members suggest the topics, and then we choose them, and then we talk about them, again, in an open manner. And we invite both the college community as well as the external community to come and join us for these conversations. And this fall, we actually have a great lineup, and it's coming off an event that happened last week, a moment where we got together as a community and reflected on this notion of unity and what unity means in the context of nationwide protests and discussions about monuments and the rally in Charlottesville. So our first conversation, which is going to take place September 25th, is titled Keeping It Equitable, Building Community by Listening to Every Voice. And truly, as a community college, we are perhaps the most egalitarian and our open access mission. It's a great way for us to come together and talk about this very important issue.
Yeah. No, I think we would agree that community colleges are colleges of the people and for the people, open access institutions that value the freedom of expression of ideas. And I think, like we talked about in that event last week, that we represent a college that can do that in a respectful, open, peaceful way, so we can come at better understanding with each other. So are the Courageous Conversations facilitated in some way, or are they just open discussions? How do they work if someone wanted to visit a Courageous Conversation?
Sure. A Courageous Conversation starts with just some guidelines about respecting each other's perspectives, about honoring this notion of being able to say what you want to say, but at the same time respecting others' opinions and thoughts about a particular issue. And so we had some ground rules for that, but then after that, we have a very constructive dialogue. And again, the moderation is within the group, and some do want to speak, others just want to listen, and that's fine. And we invite, again, students, staff members, faculty, and others from the community to join us. And we welcome new members. So we're looking forward to this year being able to embrace more participation. We also want to emphasize that these courageous conversations are not self-contained, that these issues and ideas can be taken back into the classroom or to other venues so that the conversation can continue. So we really look at it as an incubator and a way for those who are participating to be able to discuss these issues freely.
Okay. Yeah, and in what ways have you and your colleagues tried to engage the faculty in using these as springboards for discussion in their classes?
Sure. What we do is some of the issues we're able to provide materials and actually incentivize faculty to take those materials back into their classroom and be able to share that with their students. In some cases, some of these faculty members actually build projects and lesson plans around these issues, and then by doing that, have a constructive feedback in the classroom environment. So we're really proud of these conversations as incubators and seeds for dialogue that can go beyond the classroom.
And I think I've been to several of these courageous conversations, and what impresses me the most is that everyone who is there is an equal participant, meaning we've had the college president there, we've had students there, but nobody's voice is stronger than the others. And that's a very powerful statement to put out there for students, that they can come together just with a group of people trying to all figure this out as a community, rather than kind of shouting over each other.
And actually, that is part of the reason why I believe our first conversation will emphasize, again, what we've been doing these last 2.5 years, which is the courageous conversation being a venue for building equity-mindedness, which means that we're trying to get all community members to come together regardless of their gender, class, role, or status in society, and be able to just share what they want to share in a forum that's safe. And that in itself is powerful, because as part of civic-minded individuals, I think we need to engage more in these types of dialogues, in particular during this time where there's so much tension surrounding free speech, and free speech in particular on campuses. So I think Middlesex Community College has taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, by saying, no, we're going to do it in a civil and courageous manner by talking about issues that are sensitive, but in a forum that provides a safe space for all participants regardless of their identity.
Now, I know there was, in addition to sort of the imperative to bring something like this to a college campus, there was another event that helped inspire this for you. Can you tell the listeners about how you were inspired?
Sure, and this was something that came out of actually a national association, the American Colleges and Universities annual meeting in Washington, D.C., where there was a session by Metropolitan State University of Denver, and they embraced these dialogues at their campuses and in a very deliberate manner, because they wanted to address equity and diversity head on. And so the idea came or germinated from that particular session, and I think that definitely was something that we were able to experience and then bring back to Middlesex Community College, but really make it our own. Make it our own and make it something that we can be proud of.
And I think that now that I've known you now for a few years, this truly speaks to something inside of you. It's not just for you. This isn't just a part of your job. This is sort of how you live your life too. And
that's correct. I think that part of my core value system is around this notion of both equity, but also freedom to speak courageously about topics. And that is something that I carry as both an educator, but also as an administrator and a community member here at Middlesex Community College, it is truly important to be able to hear other people's voices, other people's opinions, and more importantly, to honor those voices as being a part of the fabric of this institution and being able to really embrace this notion of unity and diversity, that we can be different in this setting, have different views and perspectives, yet and learn from those. And I think that is something that I carry with me each and every day.
Okay. Thanks. I'm talking with Jaime Flores, Academic Division Director here at Middlesex Community College. I'm Steve Minkler, and we'll have more of Middlesex Moments after the break. Welcome back to Middlesex Moments from Middlesex Community College. I'm Steve Minkler, the Academic Dean at the college, and I'm having a conversation with Jaime Flores, who's the Academic Division Director of Arts and Media, Humanities, and Social Sciences. And earlier in the program, we talked about Jaime's role as really working with both the faculty whom he supervises, but then also the students who seek our college and seek our programs. And you've done quite a bit of outreach lately in order to bring students to the college and working with them as an advisor, especially this summer. It's been a very busy summer. So what do you like most about working with community college students?
Sure. Actually, it's part of the reason why perhaps I wear many hats is because I do have kind of an eagle's eye view of what happens at this college. But I turn that information and that knowledge over to students. Students, especially new students to the college, are getting their footing on this campus. And I mean that both literally, but also wrapping themselves around, especially if they're a new student, whether they're 18 or 60, they want to know how to navigate in this college. And it goes beyond just academic planning and scheduling. A lot of that has to do with where to find resources. And Middlesex Community College has many resources at the disposal for students. So in many ways, I act as a liaison for those resources and even resource beyond Middlesex Community College, because we are also embedded not only in Middletown, but also as a system, we have access to resources from our other sister colleges and universities. So I truly believe that my role here, in particular with advising and counseling and coaching students, I think part of my role is to be an academic coach as well, because students are asking for that guidance, are asking for what is my next step. Yes, registering for classes, finding their academic programs, and deciding on that is important, but also long-term career and professional goals setting is very important. So during my initial conversations, I will ask a student, where do you see yourself? Or can you visualize 5 years down the road? And some can give me a very succinct and very good image of where they see themselves. Others might have a little bit more difficulty with that, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to help them visualize and map their next move, so to speak. And this new pathways help tremendously with this, because as a system, we've embraced the guided pathways, and we know that these guided pathways can lead to careers, professions, and also jobs.
Yeah, and some of these pathways you're talking about are the new articulation agreements, so a student can go directly from their associate's degree to a bachelor's degree program, right?
That's correct. And actually, I was advising one particular student whose career interest was speech pathology. And it had a very personal connection to that, because this particular student's mother actually went through a traumatic experience, a stroke, and she lost part of her speech abilities. And so her daughter was helping her mother with this during this trial, and she was able to actually be a help for her mother, because she was interacting with speech pathologists. And so she asked these speech pathologists, how did they get to be speech pathologists? And so this was the genesis for her decision to become one. And so when she came to Middlesex Community College, we don't have a speech pathology program, but we certainly have an articulation through the General Studies program to Central State University, and I was able to map some of the coursework that she would need in order to apply for that program. So this is a very palpable and very direct example of what we do here. And many of my colleagues do this. I'm not the only one. But I certainly find it very rewarding to be able to help this particular student take the steps that she needs in order to fulfill her professional goals.
Mm-hmm. And I think we all do our very best to do that, and sometimes we don't make it easy for someone who isn't familiar with how to navigate what a college can offer. And in a way, I sort of see all of us who do academic advising as being guides, or I hate to use the word tour guide, but in a way it is what you're doing. You're kind of showing them where the next signpost might be, or how to find the right direction based on where they'd like to go.
Sure. And actually, I think in some ways, I treat each student, especially a new student who's new to the campus, in a way that he or she feels comfortable with navigating not only the different offices, but also physically going to those offices and interacting with the people that work there. So I will, if I have the time, take the student down to the registrar or to the records office and actually introduce them to our colleagues down there so that they see another familiar face. All it takes is a few familiar faces during that first week, during that first month, for the student to acclimate and to be able to have a successful semester. Their professors, of course, are the ones that they're going to interact most with during those first few weeks. But I think it's important for us to be intentional in making sure that that student feels comfortable here. And then the learning can happen from there.
So, and another big chunk of what you do in your role as Academic Division Director for the School of Arts and Media, Humanities, and Social Science is working closely with the faculty. And what do you appreciate the most about working with the faculty here at Middlesex Community College?
Sure. I called my faculty gems because they truly are valuable and precious, because they are on the front lines of learning. They're the ones that the students will go to for both in class and outside of class, during office hours, during advising hours. They will seek them for advice and for guidance. But our faculty do much more than that. They are involved in research, they're involved in writing, they're involved in community activities. They work in such a way that they bring the real world into their classrooms. And that's what we do appreciate so much about our faculty, is that they're multifaceted, they're committed to excellence, they're committed to learning, and most of all, they're committed to our students. They want to make sure that our students are successful, and they carry that with them each and every day. And so I'm very proud to work besides my faculty colleagues. They truly are those educational warriors on the front line, and they are the ones that are making learning possible, even with our students who might have challenges. And because we're open access, we accept all students, but we accept them and embrace them, and our faculty are part of that.
And I would agree, and I think they are an amazing group of people who have both academic credentials. I think well over half of our full-time faculty have doctorates in their field, very well educated people, but they also come from professional practice in many cases. So you have somebody, well, in the media area where we're sitting, as somebody who has the academic credential to teach in that field, but someone who has won an Emmy Award, for example. So students get to learn from scholars as well as practitioners. And I think we see that play out in many ways in our programs, which make it more possible for students to succeed in the career track programs and those that transfer out to the universities.
And certainly that's part of the reason why our students seek our faculty members for advice, is because they have that practical experience and that practical knowledge. They can really bring that into their classrooms in such a way that students are working on real world problems. And those projects will extend from here. They will refer to those projects or those assignments well beyond Middlesex Community College. And I think that's really the value of having these faculty members who are both academically oriented but also have the professional experience that can bring that to our students. And students value that experiential experience. They truly do. And many of them, graduates and alumni, come back and tell us that the experiences that they had in the classroom and outside of the classroom here at Middlesex Community were truly life transforming. So I really, really appreciate that the faculty are bringing that into their classrooms.
Great. And one of those ways that we do that, again, talking with Jaime Flores here at Middlesex Community College, is the Courageous Conversations series that Jaime is providing leadership for. And again, the dates for the Courageous Conversation this fall, and our first topic would be what?
Sure. Our first topic and our first conversation will be Monday, September 25th. The topic is Keeping It Equitable, Building Community by Listening to Every Voice. Our next conversation will be Monday, October 23rd, and then the final one, Monday, November 20th. They take place 12:30 to 1:20 p.m. The meeting place is the library periodical room, and they are open to the public, and we just welcome you here, and we just hope you can join us this fall.
Right. So I want to thank you, Jaime Flores, for joining me on today's edition of Middlesex Moments, and we invite any of our listeners who are interested in the Courageous Conversations to visit us on those dates and the Chapman Hall building at our main campus, 100 Training Hill Road here in Middletown. And we invite you to visit us anytime on campus here. You can visit us in our new Meriden Center at the recently renovated Platt High School. It's a gorgeous facility. I was there last week, and the students and the faculty are very excited, as are we, and we're very thankful for our relationship with the Meriden Public Schools. And of course, you can visit us online on our website, www.mxcc.edu, and our MxCC Online campus, which is available 24/7. So until next time, for Middlesex Moments, I'm Stephen Minkler. We'll see you shortly.